couple certification that I think you should get, in my opinion, that will be helpful
Mhm.
to you in terms of the way the Microsoft certification works or the way you want to get started your career, basically. So let me go
Mhm.
ahead and show you here. So here, the certification that I recommend in the past, you know about the CompTIA Plus and all the stuff. I mean, you know about
Yeah.
this one, so this one is not a whole lot. And this one, if you get it, if you want to get it, still you can get it. But this is not the only
Mhm.
way to enter the IT field anymore. You know, you got a lot more ways to do that now. So let me go ahead and the one that I will recommend you to get is to understand the Microsoft system better, and that is gonna be the MS 900, the Microsoft 365 system. So this is the fundamental course, and you're probably gonna know a lot of this, but some of it is gonna be helpful to just go back, refresh it. And there's a
Uh-huh.
certification. There's a certification based on this. So you can see here the exam is designed if you're looking to demonstrate a fundamental level knowledge of cloud-based
Mhm.
solution to facilitate productivity and collaboration on site at home or a combination of both. So basically, it's a basic
Okay.
certification.
Yeah, I see it now. Everything is good. I see it.
Okay, perfect. So this certification, let me zoom out a little bit because I thought I was sharing the right screen. Anyway, so this
Mhm.
certification is very basic. I mean, I have some materials you can use to take it. It's not
Mhm.
hard, and I can
Mhm.
basically go ahead and actually, show you what materials you can use. But it costs
Mhm.
$90 to take it, and the ninety
Mhm.
dollars is a lot. But honestly, if you have a student ID, which you do, I know you do, you can basically
Mhm.
put in that you get a discount. You get like I think a 20% discount or something. So you end up paying like a well, don't quote
80
me on
bucks.
yeah $80 or maybe $60. We can take a look at that together.
Okay.
It's not
Okay.
it's not extremely like expensive like that. So that's the first certification. Once you get this one, then you
Mhm.
can basically understand how the Microsoft system works. And then to study for the certification, you got a couple ways to do it. You can click on the study MS 900. So you go to the Microsoft certification portal like here, and you click on the study
Mhm.
MS 900. Here it tells you like let me minimize this. It tells you what you need to do, and it will give you this exam passing score. So
Mhm.
and it gives you the same thing for other exams, but this is basically a way for you to study, and then it gives you the objective domain. So what is judging you on the exam? So if you describe the cloud concept, that's 5 to 10%, and then if you describe the Microsoft 365 apps and services, that's 45 to 50%, which you already know how to do because you've been working at the IT help desk before. So I'm pretty sure you know how to do that one. So and then if you describe the security and compliance and privacy trust, you also get another, 20 to 25, 30%. So it's really easy, but I think getting the handle of this will be good. I have, like I said, couple websites or couple study guide that I can share with you that can help you.
Mhm.
It's not really a study guide, it's more like a doing hands-on. So
Mhm.
if you remember, I created you an account, which is what you're using right now. What I can
Mhm.
do is I can give you courses on that account, and I can make
Mhm.
sure that you can do those things. But
Mhm.
before we do that, we need to go ahead and actually look at a website called MS Learn. Have you heard about MS Learn before?
No, no.
Microsoft Learn. So Microsoft Learn, it's actually a
Mhm.
great way for you to do that. Let me go ahead and see if I can pull it up over here. Let me see. Trying to hide this thing from here. Come on, Teams, hide it. Yeah, there you go. So MS Learn, it's basically the the best way. So Microsoft Learn is actually that's what it's called. And you come over here, you can just search for whatever
Mhm.
you want to learn. So if you search for MS 900, this is basically going to tell you about the MS 900. So if you click here, it's the same website similar to it. And but here
Mhm.
is if you scroll down here, you can actually hit
Mhm.
study. You can actually hit start right now, and you can save it. You can sign in using your Microsoft 365 account, or you can use your Hotmail
Mhm.
or Outlook or whatever Microsoft account you have. Even Gmail, I think you can use it. Once you sign in,
Mhm.
it's gonna save your progress. If you hit like start right now, learning the
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft 365 fundamentals, click here, start.
Mm-hmm.
It will tell you like what you need, what you can read. So some of it's reading, some of it is like
Mm-hmm.
what do you call, like a SAM SaaS based. Some of it's SaaS based. So meaning
Mm-hmm.
that they have a lab, actual sandbox lab where you can actually study. So if you click on
Mm-hmm.
this one, for example, study, it tells you
Mm-hmm.
like a introduction of the module, what is Microsoft 365. And again, some of this, if you know, you don't spend too much time of it. You already just overview it just to make sure that you get into it, slowly.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest thing I tell you is to assume that you know something and then find out that you don't know something when you need to get a job or certification. So it's never hurts to go over and kind of see. And then if you feel confident, the best way to show your confidence
Mm-hmm.
is your exam. Just pass the exam. And if you're working
Mm-hmm.
towards applying for a job, you can just say, hey, you know
Mm-hmm.
what? I took the Microsoft, fundamental courses. I'm working on the next certification and so forth. So people can actually see you have a progress. You have a road to get to what you want to get.
Mm-hmm.
So let me click on hit continue, for example, and it tells you here more about it. You can just keep reading more until you get to the point. Every time you read it, it gives you XP point. And
Mm-hmm.
a lot of this, to be honest with you, you probably won't need to, but I just don't know exactly what part you're missing because you've been out of
Mm-hmm.
the game for so long. So the best thing
Yeah.
I can say is go ahead and refresh yourself to the best as you can. Don't take a chance on that. So
Mm-hmm.
that is MS Learn, and that's the course that I want you to take, MS 900, and I will put this in the link in the description of the teams. I'm gonna do that right
Okay, I'll
now.
take it.
Yeah, so that way you have it. Let me go back to the main page. Yes, here it is. This is the main
And is
page.
that like
hmm
modules where you actually like basically like videos or
Oh
something
yeah,
or
yeah.
no? It's just
There
about
is
like
there is no videos, but I have a videos for
Mhm.
you. I have videos for you.
Okay.
There's usually not a videos because but I'm a Microsoft partner, meaning that
Mm-hmm.
I get a additional videos. I'll show you some of the videos before we get finish here because the video is gonna be exclusive to you. I'm gonna try to
Okay.
upload it somewhere like in YouTube at some point if I get a chance, but a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times I'm not sure if Microsoft will allow me to do that because they have it sometimes copyrighted and stuff. So
Copyrighted, yeah.
yeah, but let me see. So the modules are actually here. So after you're done with MS 900, then you're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
take in SC 900. They're go hand in hand. One of them is about Microsoft 365, and
Mm-hmm.
one of them is about like the security aspect, security compliance. So any company nowadays, they're scared of getting hacked. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very important that you study security and you
Okay.
understand security. So it's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
be it's gonna be a problem if you don't study security. So because of that, this course is also a good course for you to take. Like you can see what the
Mm-hmm.
course is referring to, all the things it does.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be unfair to you if you don't take this. So I mean
Mm-hmm.
you got so many things you can do to take it. So you can see like same thing. Exam is $99, and
Mm-hmm.
if you want to read the brief description of it, this exam is targeted to you if you're looking to familiarize yourself with the fundamental of security, compliance, identity, access control, cloud-based related Microsoft service. So this is again to get you almost treat yourself like a new student, but you're not new. You're basically having to
Mm-hmm.
go. And if you know everything, like if you happen to know a lot more than
Mm-hmm.
what you think you knew is bonus. You
Mm-hmm.
already you read it and you learn more about it. And again, here's the skills
Okay.
measuring. The skill is measuring
Mm-hmm.
you on describing the concept of security, compliance, and identity, 5 to 10, 15%, or 10 to 15%. Describing the
Mm-hmm.
capabilities of Microsoft Azure Active Directory, part of Microsoft Intra, that's 25 to 30%. And that's easy also.
Mm-hmm.
Describing the capability of Microsoft Security Solution, 25 to 30%.
Mm-hmm.
Describing the
Mm-hmm.
capability of Microsoft Compliance Solution. So this is all describing. It's not, we don't have to do hands-on like the high level exams. But the basic
Mm-hmm.
exams will get you in the door. And if somebody were looking to hire you back into the IT field, they would do it
Mm-hmm.
because they know you are actually somebody who took a step, not just saying I want to get a job, you know. So any questions so far? I know we talked about a lot so far. We talked about the MS900, the basic Microsoft, course, and also SC900, this basic Microsoft security course. Any question?
No, no, not at the moment. I'm just documenting the MS900 and SC
SC900,
700. I think
SC900.
SC900.
Yeah,
Okay.
let me send it to you in the chat right now before I forget. So I send you that. This is a SC900, and it's also, that's a link for that site for their certification. So those are the two courses, and I can give you individual video access, video guide on how to basically do well on these courses. Again, you have this labs also, or courses. Each module you have, like this one has 2 modules, this one's 4 module. You can continue taking the module and continue learning on your pace, basically. So, and then the other thing I have for you is that if you click on here, like Exam Sandbox, this is how Microsoft Exam Sandbox looks like. So this is something that you never seen it before, because have you ever taken Microsoft Exam before?
No, not at all.
Well, this is what it looks like. So the Exam Sandbox is simply will look like what you see over here. And the whole point of the Exam Sandbox is actually to kind of get you familiar with what Microsoft Exam will look like. So here you're gonna see here, before you take the certification, you have to agree with the terms and condition. You hit yes, and then you hit next, and then here's what it's gonna look like. It's gonna tell you, for example, your passing score is 700. Every exam you take for the MS900, SC900, your passing score is always gonna be 700. 700 is a minimum you can get, and 900 is I think you can get up to 1,000. 1,000 maximum. So that means you have 8, like this one tells you have 8 hours, but usually they give you 1 hour and 50 minutes or 1 hour, and they give you like 50 questions, and then they will tell you like basically how many case studies you have, and then this will say the exam name, and it will tell you your name, like welcome to, hey, Rama, welcome to the exam. And then if you agree with it, you're gonna hit next, and this is gonna have like what the exam format is. It's just you're gonna read more through that. Next. And then this is what it says, like, if you're ready, you can hit actually start the exam right now. Obviously, we're not taking exam. This is just the testing. But if we hit next, it will tell you, like, for example, this question type is known as a multiple choice. Select one. The question type contains multiple answer. Choice has one correct answer, and so forth. So again, you will basically just like this is, you don't get wrong in here. This is not a regular any test. You're just gonna choose whatever you want to. You're just getting the idea, and you're gonna hit next, and then you're gonna just put in something, and then once you're done, it will tell you, like, for example, here you need to select 2 questions, 2 answers rather than 1 answer. So you have to read through the language choices, otherwise it will mess you up. So if you go ahead and hit continue, like here, it was, see how it has 2 highlighted thing. So he says here, which two fruit make a great snack, whatever. So I just say apple and orange, whatever. So that doesn't matter. And then you're gonna go ahead again, do drop down menu. They're gonna have this a lot in the Microsoft exam. They have a lot of drop down menu, and they also have a lot of multiple questions. They have like, they will say, like, for example, you can do this so many tasks over here. Which task can you go ahead and actually handle it in 2 separate ways? And you have to just let them know there's 2 separate ways. This is probably the most hardest questions they have in the exam, is when they give you a choice. And so for that one, you just simply ignore the choice they give you and just focus on the question. You focus on your knowledge, what you learned, and you just leave it. And here you can see it says 5 tasks. I'm just selecting some random stuff, but when it comes to 5, you're gonna have an issue with that. So, but you have to trust what you learn. And then here is, you have like an actual like hands-on. So they want you to see that you did it. You can see what it looks like. So they will actually have you click on the drop the area, and then once you finish with it, then you can basically hit next. But I'm gonna just hit next, finish it, because we don't need to worry about doing this one. I'm just gonna hit complete, and then it will tell you what you did. So, and immediately, this is exam review question. So what that means is, if you decided that you got an exam wrong, or maybe you don't know if you answer the question right or wrong, you can mark it for review. If you mark it for review, you can go back to it. I didn't mark any of them for review, but if you did, you could go back
Mhm.
to it. If you have any question that's not answered, you always answer a question. Don't ever leave a question not answered. Otherwise, that can actually go against you. So always guess, even if you don't know, guess the other answer. Okay.
Mhm.
And then after that, you're gonna hit finish and you're gonna hit yes, and then that's it. And you tell you, this is the end of the exam. And if you hit next, it will tell you whether you passed or failed, and that's it.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
if you hit exit right now, I'm gonna hit exit, and it tells you here you are required 700. You see, you did not pass. This is the worst thing you can
Yes.
get. You can get, but
Mhm.
at the same time, if you study, I don't think you need to worry. You will be afraid of it because I had. I'll be honest with you. I had failed a couple exams in my days, and
Mhm.
the good news about Microsoft exam is if you failed, it will tell you what area you failed on, and you can take it. But then I also pass a lot
Mhm.
of them. I just passed one like not long ago, the security exam, and so.
Mhm.
But I think if you get the first exam, which is MS 900, if you get that, understand the
Mhm.
topic, understand the
Mhm.
hands-on, do that,
Mhm.
and then after that you pass the exam, then do SD 900. You do the understanding, and then you take the exam. You pass that. You're ready to apply for a job.
Mhm.
You're ready to apply for at the minimum help desk job to understand to help you further on what you learned. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So now let me do hands-on lab now. I'm gonna do hands-on lab with you, kind of
Mhm.
give you some type of. This was me looking at this is your account. So what I'm gonna give you is permissions. I'm gonna give you permissions, so that way you can kind of see or understand how to give permissions. So the first thing is first, I'm gonna manage your administrative role, and I'm going to give you help desk role. I'm trying to find out. So you're gonna be help desk administrator. So this is like you're in a help desk again. So this is kind of to help you understand what help desk do. As you do more of the hands-on stuff that we want to do, I can upgrade
Mhm.
you to become like a user administrator and then global administrator eventually. So with Microsoft 365, you have a lot of admin level access all over the place, and each access is way better than other, and some of them are way
Mhm.
less. So obviously, Teams administrator. What do you think that do?
Teams administrator.
Yeah,
That's basically like you managing the team and stuff.
yeah, Microsoft Teams basically.
Mhm.
And then this one, for example, what do you think Global Reader do?
Global reader is basically, in my point of view, I would say basically a viewing what sort of product as an admin role or what's in there. Basically information.
Yes, so this is a read-only access to anything in Microsoft 365. So anything in the Microsoft 365, this product, this thing can
Mhm.
read it. And then you have
Mhm.
Exchange Administrator. You remember Exchange Administration at all?
Yeah, it's basically that gives you the right to create users, monitor users, and also see what's going on, whether or not there is some sort of errors within the person computer and stuff.
Yeah, the email and stuff. So yeah. So but ultimately you got it. So the product that I would want to teach you is first of all how to create a
Hmm.
user. So it's your turn. What I'm gonna do is that you're gonna share your screen with me. I just gave you help desk administrator, and the help desk administrator
Hmm.
give you the ability to for you to basically reset password. And,
Hmm.
basically for non-admin accounts. If it's an admin account, you cannot do it, and you can also
Hmm.
manage again like a server health and things like that. So I'm gonna show you a couple things first, and then after that, I'm gonna share. You're gonna share your screen with me in Teams, and then I'm gonna have you
Yeah,
to walk you. Are you gonna walk me? I'm gonna walk you through, and then you're gonna do them. Okay.
yeah, yeah. That's fine. No worries.
Okay. So let's see. The first thing is first. So when we talked the other day, what this is what I
Hmm.
had to do for you in Microsoft 365. This is the admin center. Your admin center is where everything happens. This is also relates to your MS 900 certification. So what I'm gonna
Hmm.
show you is it relates to everything about my MS 900. In fact, if I go back, show you what we're doing, just so that way you get it. Let me go back to MS 900 and kind of go through what we're trying to do. So we are in MS 900 already. So we're
Hmm.
simply interested in the different type of cloud service available and all those things. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna actually do like the Microsoft 365 application and services. So That's what we're gonna do first. So that one, if you go back to our admin center here, so in your admin center, you got everything. Again,
Mm-hmm.
you only see the admin center if you're an administrator of the account. If you're not administrator of the account, or if you're not Microsoft 365 administrator, all you're gonna see
Mm-hmm.
is this services. You're gonna see this. You're gonna see all this bullet point. You're gonna see your Outlook, OneDrive, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, SharePoint, Teams. This is a new product. They call it Engaged, and then
Engage. Mm-hmm.
Power Automate, Admin Center, obviously, and then this is other application I added. And you see like booking project. This is some other application, but you see like forms and things like that. So this is what
Mm-hmm.
every regular user see. But
Mm-hmm.
for an admin, this is not gonna be what interests you, because you most likely as a help desk or IT admin, you're not gonna be spending time on Microsoft Word. You may have to fix it or you may have to install it for somebody else, but you're not gonna
Mm-hmm.
spend a lot of time on Microsoft Excel and things like that. You're gonna be spending a lot of time on the admin center. At least you should. Every person should. So in the admin
Mm-hmm.
center, once you go there, you need to look at all the services. When the certification is talking about all the services, this is on the admin center. You have all the services. You got your compliance, you got Dynamics, you got Endpoint Manager, Exchange, Defender
Mm-hmm.
ATP, Intra, Office Configuration, Power Apps. So all these are services you can use to configure in
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft 365. The one that we're gonna
Mm-hmm.
be interested on, it's not gonna
Mm-hmm.
be actually under any of this right now. We're just gonna click on active users. We want to click on active users, and over
Mm-hmm.
here, I help a lot of other kids learn about computers too. I use
Mm-hmm.
this. It's basically part of the I teach program I do, and so you can see there's
Mm-hmm.
other kids I have over here, and so if you
Mm-hmm.
wanted to create something, you could basically go
Mm-hmm.
ahead and create, like I created a user named Cristiano Ronaldo, for example, just to doing the scripting and things like that. But if you hit add a
Mm-hmm.
user, you can basically create a user. You can put in the first name. In this case, like what you want to call the user. This is your show. You tell me what you want to call the user.
We can just say Alpha One or something.
Which
Alpha.
alpha,
Uh,
alpha, and then you can put the last name. Doesn't last name you have to put like maybe something like that.
Bravo or something or one.
Yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then you can do that, and then you put the username A1, something like that, and then you see the domain is gonna be the default domain is gonna be this one, my organization already, and then you're gonna have the
Mm-hmm.
password. The password you have to type in automatically, or you can generate automatically. So you can see here, I just type in my password. It looks for the
Mm-hmm.
complexity requirement, if it's good or not. After that, I'm gonna hit next. Here, what you do is you're gonna select product licenses,
Mm-hmm.
and then go from there. So here is what this licenses control. What can the user access? Without license, a user is just a
Mm-hmm.
shell. A user cannot do anything. So what we need to do is grant this user a permission or a license. In this case, we're going to
Mm-hmm.
give the user E1 license. This is basically for them to access Outlook, Teams, Excel, Word, PowerPoint, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to need this license to access that. So I'm going to hit E1
Mm-hmm.
next. If I want to give them additional license, I can do that. I can give them like a dynamic, things like that, or EMS, E3, Enterprise Mobility and
Mm-hmm.
Security E3. This one's something you don't need to worry
Mm-hmm.
about it. So just know that
Mm-hmm.
every user needs a license in Microsoft 365. And without a license,
Mm-hmm.
a user is just not going to be able to do anything. They basically have no access to anything. So I'm going to hit
Mm-hmm.
next. And then here is where how you can give administrative access. Like how you remember how I give you help desk administrative permission. If I wanted to give this
Yeah.
user an admin permission, I can click on admin access, admin center access, and I can give him something. I can make this user
Mm-hmm.
global reader, and then I'm gonna just hit
Mm-hmm.
next, and after that, I'm just gonna hit finish. So that's it. That's how you create a user. Like if you see most of the job that in help desk you get is gonna be
Mm-hmm.
involves around creating a user. If
Mm-hmm.
not, then it's gonna involve around resetting user password or managing user activities, making sure the user can log in, making sure users are able to do their password reset if you have to help them do it. And that's ultimately how it's
Mhm.
designed. So this is simply a lot of the things that you gotta remember. So if you can remember, now we're gonna go ahead search for the user we created. So it's A1. This is the user we created it. So if somebody calls
Mhm.
you, I mean, you remember this from your help desk days. Like when people call you, they just can't
Yeah.
log in. You know.
Mhm. Mhm.
So simply, they want you to reset the password. How will you think you do this?
To reset that password,
Yeah,
you first click on their user, you click on their name and stuff.
yeah,
Basically, right here. Yeah.
and
Mhm.
then hit reset password. Yep, that's pretty much it. And ultimately, this is the type of thing that you're gonna have to recondition yourself to remember because you've been out of it so long. I mean, you remember
Mhm.
this one, but other things that you may not remember, you need to remember. And
Mhm.
then obviously, like I said before to you, my whole goal is for you to do hands-on, more hands-on,
Mhm.
rather than just have a lecture about it. So
Mhm.
right now, I'll leave you to for more any question you may have, and then we can move
Mhm.
on. And I'm gonna have you do some hands-on, and I'm gonna tell you to do something. If you feel comfortable
Mhm.
doing it, you do it. If not, then I will show you how to do it. Okay? You have any
Okay.
questions so far?
No,
Are you sure you're not overwhelmed yet, or are you good to continue?
I'm good to continue.
Okay, so this is basic of the basic you can get. There's nothing, special about this. So this is basically your admin center. That's how you create a user. We just create a user right now. If you want to delete the
Mhm.
user, you can delete the user. If the next thing you're gonna need to do is check in the user sign-in logs, and this is again before we get to anything else, we gotta do that. If you click on this user right
Mhm.
now, you're gonna see once this loads up correctly, you will see something about the user. You can see that the user didn't sign in the last 30 days. If this user signed in, since we just created right
Mhm.
now, it's not, there's no sign in log. But if this user signed in, you'll see the sign in log that way. But in this case, we don't see a sign in log with this user, so it's completely fine. And then let's see here. If there's anything else that like you want to do against this user, you want to change something else, you can click the user
Mhm.
again. You could change maybe the user email address. If you want to change a user email address to something else, assuming the user account is not synchronized, meaning that it's not managed in Active Directory, local Active Directory, you could do
Mhm.
this. So that's one way you could do it. And then you could also again come back. You have other options you can do. You could add the email address, additional email address. You could remove the permissions you give it. You could change the contact information, like you could change the name. You could modify a lot of
Mhm.
things. This is just for you to go over that user and understand. If somebody calls you, they say, "Hey, my name is misspelled wrong. It's not supposed to
Mhm.
be Alpha 1. Please change it to Alpha
Mhm.
2." You could just simply come over here and just make something, and then this name will now change to Alpha 2 instead of Alpha 1. So you hit save, and that's it. And then you're going to go back, and then you're going to see how it's or everything already changed already. Or if you decided
Mhm.
that you want to add a user manager, you could add a manager to them. You could add the user to group, or you could sign the user out of all sessions. So this is a lot of areas that I want you to go understand successfully, because a lot of
Mhm.
helpless job is about
Mhm.
understanding how to manage the user. And obviously,
Mhm.
the most important of all is somebody, if they getting terminated, they call IT, and the IT person has to know how to terminate that account and like disable that account, make sure that nobody can access it. So what you could do in that sense is you could come over here, block sign in if you know the user shouldn't be accessing this account. So you can say block this user from signing in. That means this user won't be able to sign in anymore. So the
Mhm.
difference between this user and your account, you'll see in a second once this is finished saving. It's literally, so now you see this user is no longer can sign in. You have the right password and everything else, they can't sign in. This is some of the things that you can do. You can manage in Microsoft 365, and then
Mhm.
you have your license like we talked about it. If you want to change the license, maybe the user is a developer, they need to create some things. You could give them Power Automate license, you know,
Mhm.
and you can save that. Or maybe the user can actually, you want to check the user mailbox settings, like to see what permissions, maybe give permission to somebody else, like to their manager, or maybe set up
Mhm.
automatic office, like when somebody takes vacation, they can set up automatic office reply for the user. All those things
Mhm.
can be done with simple, user, the active user tab, and you can do all those things. And so the biggest thing that I tell you right now that you need to remember is simply, even though it doesn't look a lot, it's just those little basic stuff, like how do you change the user email address? How do you set up a mailbox delegation? How do you set
Mhm.
up basically forwarding, email forwarding? How do you, if the person logged in, they set up their OneDrive, you could manage their OneDrive here too. And how to sign in, how
Mhm.
to block signing in, and how to unblock signing in.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
so far, any question on that about active user settings, things you could do, basic stuff? I know it's not initial overview, but do you have any questions so far?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. And one of the things I'm gonna have to do better next time is probably record this too, so you can review it on your own if you
Mhm.
need to, and it will send you a through Teams message, and you can review it. So,
Mhm.
but let me see. The next thing is now we can do is, like I said earlier, we have so many services in Microsoft 365. The biggest
Mhm.
one that as a help desk person or somebody who's getting into IT needs to know is the Microsoft
Mhm.
Health Services. Microsoft, it's not exactly, perfect. They can have problems. When they have
Mhm.
problems, some people will call, a lot of people will call saying, I can't get to my email. You need to know
Mhm.
that we don't control their emails. So in that sense, you need to check on the health services. So if you click on health services, service health, you can see what's going on with Microsoft. So you can see all those things, that's going on with them. If you scroll down, you'll see
Mhm.
additional related thing like Exchange. They had advisories, 3 advisories. If you click on the advisories, it tells you what Exchange had, what issue Exchange may have had. Some user unable to
Mhm.
delete messages. So you can see it has some, you can see all the services Microsoft has. Whether if they're healthy, they can have this healthy check mark. If they're not healthy, they're gonna have
Mhm.
this exclamation mark slash what is going on with their service. So a lot of times
Mhm.
some services will be down, and if it's down, they will just tell you, hey, this service is down. And if a user call you about that, you can't do anything about it. You just have to tell them, hey, Microsoft is having issues. We have there's
Mhm.
nothing we can do at that moment.
Mhm.
So I think, I don't know how long we've been doing this right now. I don't want to overwhelm you because you are new to this, and the whole point of this is to get you gradually started on this one. I feel like
Mhm.
I could go on for, like, let's just say 10 more hours to give you information about what I have been doing, what I
Mhm.
know, what I think
Mhm.
you should know. But I think the
Mhm.
biggest thing is for you to take step by step and getting yourself assimilated into what IT is about, understanding what we
Mhm.
talked about it, you know, and also reviewing the recording, which I don't know if I did. Let me see if I did record it. Yeah, it's recording. Luckily, it's recording, so I did record it. So that
Mhm.
means you just need to go ahead and actually review the recording, what we talked about it, and that should
Mhm.
give you an
Mhm.
insider information of what the whole deal is about. Like, what are we talking about? If
Mhm.
you happen to need any additional guidance, I'm always here for you. But that's
Mhm.
what I would say. I'm not gonna talk forever because I think I can see where it can get overwhelming. Even though you're getting it, I think do it in step by step. What we talked about it, read through, review the Microsoft MS900 course, read online through
Mhm.
Microsoft Learn, and then you may be able to come up with more questions and also understand. And this is not a,
Mhm.
I'm not expecting you to become like an expert in one day of learning. You're gonna need some time. You've been off of it for a while, so you need to slowly get back to it to get your best out of it. Yeah, yeah. So I think
Okay.
I think what I'm gonna do is for this one,
Yeah,
we have done enough a lot of things. We're gonna have to fix our teams thing next time. When are you gonna
yeah.
be back in town again?
Oh, every weekend. I always tell them to be every weekend. I'm just home.
Okay. Then let's
Yeah.
set up. I'm gonna just update the meeting. Let me update the meeting invite to next week the same time. We can always do
Hmm.
it earlier if we need to, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
update this because let me see if Teams will actually collaborate with me. I'm gonna update the invite and then we can do it next time. I mean, this is you got a lot for introduction today, and I think I wanted to
Hmm.
see the hands-on part for you, but Teams is being not helpful right now, so we can do it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this recurring meeting.
So, question.
Hmm.
Quick question.
Yeah.
So right now, shouldn't I have had over here a tab where it says create users and stuff or no?
No, probably not because it probably maybe you don't have an admin permission because helpless user. I remember he just resets password, so I need to give you a user
Okay.
administrator to be able to do that, which I can give you no
Okay.
problem. So let me do. I'm gonna do
Yeah.
Sunday. Every Sunday. Repeat every Sunday. On we might end up doing Sunday, Saturday, sometimes Saturday too. So I'm gonna do this for
Hmm.
a 4 week course.
Yeah.
So this
Yeah,
will.
that's fine. And what we'll do that, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and just study for my MS 900 and MC 900 as well.
Yeah. Just do the one exam at a time. You don't want to stress
Hmm.
yourself out. So I set up a recurring meeting for every Sunday until basically November or December. So
Hmm.
inshallah, may Allah give us the willpower to continue this consistently. And
Inshallah.
yeah, so we can do it inshallah. And I think you just have to look at this as a learning. Don't try to. The biggest mistake people make, in my opinion, is trying
Hmm.
to learn everything there is to know about
At
everything.
once.
Yeah, you cannot do
Yeah.
that. You have to remember you are a father, to a
Hmm.
newborn right now. You're a husband. You're a worker. So you gotta manage all
Hmm.
that things, and also you're learning. So don't over stress yourself about it. You'll learn, man. I'm pretty sure you're smart. You're gonna get it. And I have
Inshallah.
that 1 hour meeting with you every Sunday until from 4:30 till 5:30. And if we need more
Hmm.
hours, we can do more time too. And I'll give you assignment
Hmm.
and you can do it. And I'll give you some more resources. When I get the video uploaded, I might put it in YouTube. I'll just
Hmm.
basically share with you. And
Hmm.
also this video, I'm gonna probably put it on YouTube. If you want to review it, you just can review it. I give you access to it, and that's it. So if you want to
Hmm.
review something, just go ahead and refresh yourself. But eventually, my goal is
Okay.
for you to do a lot of hands-on stuff. So you don't want to just know the theory base; you want to know the practical knowledge. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
Any questions
Okay.
so
After
far?
all of that, yeah, my question was, with the thing that you showed me earlier, the MS 900 stuff, do I just still go on based on the stuff you sent to me? Because I know I sent them, I saved them here.
Yeah, it's through
Let's see
through
here.
through Microsoft Team. If you click on the chat, you'll see the
Mhm.
links over there.
The
Do you see the
chat.
yeah? You have to click on the meeting and then chat. You should see it there. If not, then I can send it again.
Yeah, I should be able to. Let's see. Get in this chat. Yeah, I see it right here.
Okay, yeah. Just click on the MS900. Just go through it because that's what we're gonna do right now. I'm not showing you any security
Mm.
stuff yet. I'm only showing you the
Yeah.
basic Microsoft stuff, letting you understand
Mm.
what each application do. Once you get used to
Mm-hmm.
that, you understand how the theory and also the practical knowledge. Then my goal is to take you
Mm-hmm.
to the security side. As you get better on that one, maybe take you to another road mile of what Microsoft will want you to have. I think with those two
Mm-hmm.
certifications, though, in my opinion, you should easily can apply to any helpless job because I know people that work in the helpless that don't have that certification, and you have it. That's a very much a
Mm-hmm.
bonus.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
it.
that's fine. No worries, inshallah.
Yeah. So yeah, may Allah make it easy for you and for all of us. and give us the motivation to continue this, because shaitan sometimes come in, you get distracted, you feel like you're claustrophobic, you feel like you're drowning from a lot of knowledge,
Mhm.
but take your time, and
Yeah.
you have help, and I'll do my best to help you.
Inshallah. And question with this thing that Microsoft offers here, like you stated earlier, it does have some modules where you can do some hands-on stuff, correct?
Right, it
Oh, no.
does. But for this certification you're studying, the MS
Hmm.
900, it's a
Yeah,
basic fundamental course, meaning that
of
they
course.
don't have a lot of labs on it, which means
Okay.
the video I'm going to send you or put in YouTube will help you on understanding the labs, and also the things we're gonna do is gonna give you the labs.
Hmm.
But they don't have actual labs with like those. They will have it with advanced courses, like advanced certification.
Hmm.
But for the basic one, they
Yeah.
already know that this is just theory. They don't want to blow you up with a lot of hands on. We're only doing hands on because I want you to do hands on. We don't even have to do hands on
Okay.
because it's not required.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. No worries. And if that's the case, I'll do that. I'll go ahead and try to read as much as I can from here, then I can go from there.
Yeah, and also do me a favor, grab yourself a
Hmm.
library card
Hmm.
before we meet next week. There's a reason why you need
Yeah.
it. You need it. It'll give you access to other resources that I think you should have. Grab yourself a library
Hmm.
card, and then inshallah we'll meet next week. If something changes in the day,
Hmm.
we want to change it around, we can always communicate beforehand, okay?
Okay, yeah, that's fine. No worries.
All right, man. Good meeting with you. I'm gonna get ready for Maghrib prayer. So it was good talking to you. You have a great rest of the day, and take care of that new baby, man.
Inshallah, man. You too, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, and good luck on getting some sleep, man.
Thank you, man.
See you, man.
Inshallah.
Take care, man.
All right. All right.
Yes, assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.